Heyo, happy morning meeting.
Happy Wednesday.
Indeed, indeed, it is a happy Wednesday. Indeed, I had a great workout this morning, extra long. I love it when I just take my time and dilly
This is the
dally.
best.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I had some of the gym bros there, and that was kind of nice too. It's always best when they're there, and you can get that group support. I don't
We
know.
always do. It's better when you're with the group.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you have a gym bestie? I don't know the answer.
No, I'm more of a workout alone type of person.
Sure,
I like
sure.
to go. I don't know. Like once I'm at the gym, I like to put my headphones in and like zone out, like
Yeah,
be in my own moment. So I'm a alone gymmer.
an alone gymmer.
That's me.
I there was this like someone posted a note on Threads about it said I can't remember. I think it was probably a gym or something. Or anyway, a friend in it and said, "Does the gym miss me as much as I miss it?" And I saw that and I thought it was funny. I replied that I like to call it Jim JIM and like personify the gym. And
Yeah,
I
you
like to
have to.
pretend, yeah, in my mind, I pretend that the gym is always missing me. And Jim's always, I put in
Of
my calendar, like,
course.
meeting with Jim. Got a long 2 hour meeting with Jim today. So yeah,
There you go.
can't
The
get any
best
better.
the best kind of meetings are
Indeed.
with the gym.
Indeed. Uh, Jim always gives it to me hard. No, that's weird. All right. So, all right, let's jump into it here. First topic today. Last night, I was at a networking event and I heard someone say this. And so I felt inspired to make this one of the topics. Is Facebook dead? And so first, if you'll allow me, Bailey, I'm going to go first because I feel like I
Please
have
go ahead. Go
a
right
lot
ahead.
it's a huge pet peeve of mine. I have been in marketing for a long time, long enough where I can remember when it was Facebook versus MySpace, that time period. And there were times during then that people were saying that Facebook was dead. When Facebook was only for college kids, they were saying, yeah, it's a quick flash thing and it's going to die any day. It's only for kids. And then of course it aged up and it became not only for kids anymore. And then immediately because kids weren't using it or the young people weren't using it, they said, "Oh, Facebook's dead." And that was probably, I don't know, 2008 or something like that. And here we are today. Facebook is still not dead, definitively not dead. In fact, literally one of the most popular platforms in the world. And let me just check. Let's see what the Google machine says as how many daily active users for Facebook. And then I'll put the date in here. And let's just see 2.1 billion daily active users that use. I mean, it is like an unbelievable amount of people still use Facebook all the time. And uh, I don't know. It drives me insane when people say, "Is Facebook dead?" Facebook is so not dead. There are kids, youth don't use Facebook. I agree with that.
They will eventually, though. They
They
will.
will
They
eventually.
will.
Right. They will want to connect with their grandma
Mm-hmm.
or with their mom or with their friend from high school. And eventually, when they're in their mid 20s, probably early 20s, I think the account is
I
created.
think Facebook is going to make a comeback, a resurgence here soon.
I absolutely
Just
agree because
based off
they
the
have
features of the app, like of what they offer, because
exactly.
like believe it or not, Twitter is dead. Like it's not dead, but like like no one eventually goes and gets a Twitter. Like you're either in the Twitter or X realm or you're not. That's kind of like very decisive. Like you're either in it or you're not. But Facebook, like it's kind of interesting to think about like the different phases that the platform's been through because like it was originally very much like MySpace, right? Like kind of very similar to how Instagram is run now. Like your personal page, it was all about your personal page. But it kind of like my first interaction with Facebook and like the Facebook that I think of when anyone references Facebook is when I was honestly too young to be even on the app. I was like 13. I had to remake my account every couple months because I kept getting reported because I wasn't supposed to be on it. But it would be like the like for a rate date hate or like for a truth. And like we would make they're still on my like 10 years ago today. You know how Facebook shows you your memories?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite features. But
Yeah.
it'll still come up of videos that me and my friends made in literally sixth grade, fifth and sixth grade, making videos about each other and then posting them to each other's walls. Like this, like social media is not like that anymore. Like it's
True.
very much individualistic, like not like yeah, collaborating, but not in the same way. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
it used to be such a shared space together versus now it's like your platform, it's your page, it's all about you on your page. And it used to just be like a lot more collaborative in a different way. Because now you think collaboration, you think brands, partners, they make a line together. You think of collaborate that way, but that's not the way I'm intending it.
See, I think I think Facebook is not going to die soon and is not dead yet because they've done an excellent job of becoming the hub of all of their meta products. And you have to have you keep hitting a place where it's like you have to have a Facebook account. You just need to get the most out of this feature or that feature or this feature or that feature. Of course, you don't have to, but it becomes like you just sort of do have to. And so because of that, I said before, like about the kids going away from Facebook. A better way to say it is that they've had it all along. They just didn't log in every day. And they didn't maybe prefer it, but Facebook makes it so you have to create one. In a lot of these cases, if it's for VR, if it's for Instagram, like being able to cross post on Instagram, or if it's for analytics tools, or if it's so you can have like cross post with threads, whatever it is, they know what they're doing and they've created this as the hub. And it almost becomes at this point, it's almost I see it moving into an area where it's a way to verify your identity. Where like if you don't have a real Facebook account, like for example, when I'm hiring someone, I do like to see like what is their Facebook.
Facebook is the first place I go to stalk.
Right, because you see that's the real
people. Yeah, like their family tags them in stuff. They get tagged in work stuff.
Exactly.
You know, like the stuff that they don't.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They get tagged in everything, and you can really see better. Like if someone comes to me and they, like, let's say, it's a hiring situation and I can't find them on Facebook. To me, that's like, I get, especially if it's like a public role. That makes me, it's a bit of a red flag because you go, okay, well, I know you have one because again, they have 2 billion daily users. So I know you have one. So why can't I find it? It's probably because you'll say it's because you're a private person. Maybe it's because you're hiding from your wife, whatever it is. But the reality is like, we've all got one. And if it's like a public one where I can see who you are and see like about you and like you said, who your Aunt Sheila tagged you in your Thanksgiving picture, then immediately I go, okay, well, this is just a regular person and I can be a little bit more trustworthy with that person. But if they're like a hidden person, especially if I'm going to be if you're in a sales role of any of that kind of thing, it makes it really hard to trust someone who doesn't have like a pretty transparent Facebook account. So just to button up that topic, is Facebook dead? Absolutely not. I don't think it's dead, and I don't think it's going to die anytime soon. I think Facebook is around to stay. I think, believe it or not, I think actually what is more likely to get to experience some downturn is Instagram.
No, that's because Facebook has all of the features of all of the other apps. You can make a status with just text. You can post just a photo, or you can post a video, and you can message. It has all of the features of all the other main platforms that we have all in one space. And I think that's why it's going to make a resurgence, because if you aren't or haven't already used Twitter/X at some point in your life, the odds that you're going to go make a Twitter account probably pretty low. I don't think Threads is taking off the way to like overtake X in a place of like for like to make a status, right? Like there's no place to just hi Titus, how you
Famous.
doing?
The famous.
The man of the hour. You know,
Yeah.
so I think that feature alone is really holding Facebook, because where can you just go and write out your feelings? You know, like people post like their updates of family updates, like when someone's sick in your family or something exciting's happening in your family. Like that's where I think that's one of the main benefits of Facebook and what's really keeping them alive.
Yeah, and like you said, like how it is like the hub, and you can get all of the same features that you can get on Instagram, that you can get on all the other platforms. You can get those all. This is from Aunt Bailey here.
He loves it.
He does actually. He
I'm so glad.
Yeah, there's a lot of features that you just can't get, or that you can get all on Facebook that you can't get the whole experience everywhere else. And I do feel that Instagram is the one that that has the most opportunity to lose ground, not because there's Facebook is its own competitor. So I think like as people are aging up, you know, Snapchat is staying strong. Instagram is still staying strong, but I think that there is a lot of opportunity for that one to kind of lose ground with TikTok and everything else. I could see Facebook sort of staying solidified in its place, but Instagram experiencing a little bit of a downturn in terms of daily active users. I think the reality is everyone's going to have all the accounts. It's daily active users is the real metric.
Yeah. The real indicator of
right
how it's going for them.
All right, cool. That buttons that one up. Let's jump into the next segment. All right, this is a good, actually a good next one to go to, I think. What does Facebook know about you? Oh man, the answer to this one, this is what drove me crazy about the whole TikTok. You know, the whole TikTok pushback, and you know, I get why there was some pushback on the TikTok stuff, but the reality is Facebook knows so much about you. As we just talked about in the last segment, there are 2 billion people that check Facebook every day. For almost all of those people, they have the location settings turned on. You know, since the cookie apocalypse, a lot of like websites don't have your data anymore, but Facebook, you do keep that location setting on, whether it's for checking in, whether it's for like using the map, click to map thing, whatever. You're giving your location. Most people seem to be giving your location. And so Facebook has all your location data. It has your use data. So like what you click on, what websites you go to. And they still have, you know, anything. They don't have, when I say websites, I believe that their terms of use, terms of service doesn't allow for it to like Chrome through your go through your Chrome browser anymore. But with the Apple update thing, you have to opt in for that part. But it still has all of the posts that you engage with across Instagram. It still has all of the comments and you know who you look at for more than 1 point whatever second. That is much more telling data of and the biggest thing, what does Facebook know about you? They're listening all the time. They say that they're not, but I mean, I can't tell you how many anecdotal stories I can share.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was talking about
personally. All the time it happens.
All the time. And
it's hard to deny it when you have personal experience telling you otherwise, you know?
And it would be bizarre if they didn't use it. Like I don't think there's a room full of like creepy old guys listening to me and use you know, cell phone or anything like that. But I do think that they are always, I know
they're looking for those keywords, you know, like it's probably using an AI service to pick up the keywords that people are searching to, you know, better place their ads.
If this person mentioned coffee cups, put them in the category of people who
they're being pushed to the coffee cup file, you know, and
exactly.
And that's going to be your next ad is a coffee cup.
It seems like an incredible.
We just broke the algorithm. We figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. We figured it out. It seems unbelievable that we've gotten to this place where we opt in for that level of privacy. I mean, this has been talked about.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes me think about the whole Disney. You heard about that one a couple months ago about this guy's wife died on Disney property,
Yes.
had a heart or whatever, but he agreed to the Disney Plus terms of service, so he couldn't sue for wrongful death or whatever.
Yeah.
Because of the Disney Plus. I think about that all the time. Like, how many different user agreements have you signed that you don't know what that says because you just press I agree?
Yeah.
I mean, when I set up my new phone, I was like, I wonder how many of these are in Apple's that I can't come back and sue if some freak accident were to happen.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, it makes me think like that kind of stuff, like that Disney one. I think they're going to get, I think there's going to be, I don't think
I don't think it'll hold up. Yeah. I agree.
But the rub is like so many people wouldn't have been able to fight it and wouldn't been able to get
through.
But
the fact that it was even tried, like that was the first response from Disney. Like, oh, well, you signed our Disney Plus.
I mean, they put it in there.
Yeah.
With the, like, they
thought
like,
they could
get out of this. Yeah. We'll be able to get out
We'll try at least.
Yeah, exactly. At least be able to like fight it with money. Like, hey, we'll give you $1 million or something.
You mentioned something when we were talking about if Facebook was dead, about how like everything's so like it's the hub, like you said, it's the hub for everything and everything's so intertwined. And one thing I was searching up in the background was who owns Canva, because I just realized this recently is because I still use my personal Canva that I've had since like 2017, maybe. I've had it for a long time. And originally, when I first joined Canva, it was through Facebook. So when I go and log into my Canva, it still prompts me to log in through Facebook. But on my next level Canva, it doesn't make me do that. So I just think it's so interesting. Like, even like my Canva account that is not owned by Meta, it's not, because I looked it up, and everything, it's still somehow connected to my Meta account. Isn't that crazy? It's all linked together.
And that's how Facebook, again, another reason why they're not going anywhere, because that's how they get in. They did the login with Facebook. They
for a lot of things.
I want to say like 10 years ago. And
it was for a lot of like game apps and stuff.
Yeah. And they tell, so to the, like, we've installed it as an agency. We've helped, and I did it myself for my business, for my e-commerce business that I did for a little while. And I've done it for other people where you set up the login with Facebook, the opportunity to log in with Facebook, and it tells you all this stuff. But the way that they phrase it to you as the developer is like, oh, we're going to make this easier for you, for your users to log in. They don't want to have to
log in. Verifying their identity. Like, if you have a Facebook account, you must be a real person already.
Exactly. And it already like pulls over your birthday and it pulls over
all of the information.
And so you don't have to go through. And so out of convenience, you are, again, like just giving this platform.
Giving it away.
And I would say, like, a point I always want to make about this kind of stuff is like, I guess if we're willing to trade it, I think we're moving to a world where like, your privacy is not, like, I think my kids, and then, obviously we're in two different generations, but like my kids and your kids are likely to grow up with a very different perception of what privacy means than what I have. The idea that someone could just like, the idea that someone would be able to see my location at all times, there's zero chance I would ever do that.
Yeah.
No way. But the teenagers today, I know you know this, they have the Snap Map on for their every single person.
I know, every time I'm like, guys, turn that off. Like, so they don't need, your friends don't need to know where you are 24 hours a day. Sorry, that's weird. It's weird. It's
insane. And they watch their other friends and they know, and like, they're going to a party and or they're not invited to a party and they get to see their 12 best friends at the party without them. And anyway, so I guess my point is like, maybe it won't even matter. Maybe it's like one of those things.
We're working towards that.
Like they have so much data that it's just like a sea of everyone's like, nude photos or whatever just become kind of like irrelevant because they can,
because
and it's like, what's the difference now? You know, everything's out there and no one really cares.
well, I think it's interesting too is like I can't remember the specific details, but there was just a case solved, like a 20-year-old murder mystery solved because of a Facebook profile.
Wow.
Because this guy moved across the country and they couldn't figure out why, like how he was correlated to this one small town. And on his Facebook, when he first set up his Facebook, he put that he moved to this small town. And here, 20 years later, it's still posted on the Facebook, and that's how they were able to pinpoint him.
That's
like,
crazy.
It hold you in. That's what I think is interesting too. Is like me, I do because I'm weird, but like I frequently go through my Facebook and like look at all of the stuff that I input when I first set it up. Because when I was 12 years old, I didn't know that information would be living online until I'm 26. Like. Yeah. So I try to like make sure that it's not like weird stuff that I did when I was 12, like living online for me. But it's, it's crazy that the platform's evolved and still alive.
Yeah. Like I that's a interesting thing to note because, I just recently went through mine and I looked and it's like my Snapchat is public on there.
Yeah. Like you're like, oh, whoa.
My Snapchat handle and I'm like, well, that's weird. I'm not really even a Snapchat user anymore. And, sometimes I'll get people that says like added by name. And I think, oh, okay.
That's weird. But now you know why.
Yeah, they must have like found me. A lot of times it's like spam or whatever, but I assume they found me via my, they found that this is the only way that they could have possibly found it. And so, yeah, it's bizarre. Facebook knows a lot about you, but it's because you told them. So
your own fault.
It's as secret as you think. All right. Here's the next one. Okay. I am excited to talk about this. Okay, here we go. All right. Google Ads 2025. Here's what I wanted to talk about specifically. All right. My first part of my rant is that Google Ads has changed in many ways in the history of the time that I've been managing advertising. But in so many other ways, it has not changed even a little bit. And so what are the ways that it's changed? Here's a couple things that are different now that weren't true 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. The Apple ad apocalypse, that changed, just like we talk about a lot on the Meta side. It changed a lot of things on the Google side as well. So things like targeting, we don't really mess with a lot of targeting anymore because it just kind of doesn't really serve us unless it's first party information. Like if we have a customer list or something, then we'll do some targeting. But so all that kind of stuff, like trying to tell the machine what you want and having it go find those people, like in your awareness advertising and any of those things, is really not as nearly as valuable as it used to be. And it gives us a lot of kind of like, I don't know, low quality impressions is what I would call it. So I don't recommend a lot of that like we used to do. I love YouTube. I think YouTube is a great place to run advertising. But if your goal is conversions, I don't think YouTube is a great place for you. YouTube is an awareness vehicle at best. And it's not just like with Meta, like it's the same thing I would say to someone running an advertisement in the middle of someone scrolling. Most people don't see an ad and then they're immediately moved to go buy right away. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not how I wish that it worked that way. That would be nice. But usually what happens is it's an awareness vehicle so that, it keeps you top of mind. They see your logo, they hear your brand message. And then when they want whatever you're selling, they go to search. And that's where Google Ads hasn't changed at all. When someone goes to search, still by far the biggest driver of revenue for all of our clients, past and future, is Google Ads, the search ads specifically. They used to be called PPC, pay-per-click, whatever, keyword ads. And now it's still, nothing has changed on that front. Some of the ways we set it up are a little different. We use, there's something called Performance Max. There's like a blend of search and awareness. There's, a few other like bidding strategies that have changed a little bit. But I just wish that more people would do Google Ads, even at a lower budget, Google Ads is still the best place to get revenue for your business. Until you've exhausted Google search ads, you don't even begin to think about as an awareness tool. And then just the final point on it, I've gotten a few questions about Google Ads 2025, like with the AI. Do we even need the advertisement anymore? Well, if you have Googled anything recently, you will see they have their own AI tool right at the top. But what's right below and above that and all around it is advertisements, advertisements, advertisements. So if someone's searching for what's the best fence company in the county, it's going to pull up, yes, a little blurb. And we want to try and like, game that system. They could give you, by reviews or whatever. Like we want to be the answer to that question. But if you can't be that answer to that question, that's kind of a hard task. Instead, a much easier task is just to pay to be on that page, be right there for that ad. And this is still true as it has not changed in the entire time I've been doing advertising, is that people that are really ready to buy, they love clicking ads. People that are just fact finding, they hate clicking ads. Mm-hmm. And so if you're looking for people that are buying, the best way to do that is to use an advertisement. Bailey, do you have anything to add? I know I talked
not much. No, I think it was good. I think you covered it.
All right, cool. Yeah. So to wrap it up, Google Ads, focus on search ads first, and then focus on everything else after that. All right, great. That was a fun one. All right, I got one more before we wrap her up today, and then actually get a little bit of real
wrap her up.
Wrap her up. All right. What are the essential digital marketing tools in 2025? What do you think are some of the essential tools? I'm going to let you go first for this one.
I mean, like in terms of like platforms and stuff, like what?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not going to let you go first. I'm going to say,
yeah. Can you give me a good idea?
My top two
okay.
essential tools in 2025. Number one is Canva. We just talked about
it. Oh yeah. Couldn't agree more.
I think that is such people in our business hate it because it's like, it feels like it's kind of taking the designer out of the equation. But man, that is such a great tool. I feel like that thing.
You can tell when someone knows how to really use Canva versus and like has been a designer versus someone who just is like throwing together the elements. Like there's a way to make Canva take it to the next level, like make it look a little bit more like Adobe kind of design files, but not everything needs to be in Adobe design files. So that's what's really nice about Canva. And I really like the collaborative efforts of Canva. That's what really benefits us, the ease of it.
Totally. The best thing is that collaborative. I was gonna say that as well, like that collaborative feature where we can edit an image together and come up with edits and send proofs and do all that stuff inside Canva that's such a good, I think did a really good job with that tool. It's a great product. And I think so worth using. And so another essential digital marketing tool that kind of fits in the same bucket is the CapCut. I feel like I personally, if you do any video, like reels of any kind, or really just any like phone video, I think CapCut is another essential. What say you on that, Bailey?
Yeah, I agree. I will say, I think the platforms like Instagram and TikTok have done a better job at updating the features of their in-app editors, because I think CapCut had such good success. And I think now with like the way Instagram and TikTok reward you for using their in-app editors, I think you could get away with not using CapCut. But CapCut is, it's a great place to start to like learn how to like edit videos. It makes it like very user friendly, because if one of the first things I thought about CapCut is it really is similar. It's basically the same as iMovie. It just, things are located in different spots. Like it's literally the exact same functions, probably a little bit more, but just having a basic understanding of how to edit a video, how to piece together things, add captions, that's a great place.
Absolutely. I think what CapCut has done really well is have the features. So iMovie, when they made that, no one was making reels.
Yeah.
Like when they invented iMovie,
they were ahead of their time.
Yeah. And well, I was gonna say iMovie was built for kind of horizontal video and was not really like what CapCut. The first reason that I always used CapCut was they did the automatic transitions. Or I mean, I'm sorry, automatic captions. And
Mm-hmm.
that's
That was a
what
huge thing.
that used to take us 2 days.
Long. Yeah.
I mean, it would take a long time to make a graphic for each caption and all that. I mean, it was like to the point where we didn't do it. We just didn't do it because it was too much work.
Yeah,
And
too much effort for
adding that in. And then the other thing that CapCut does that iMovie never like even thought to do was the removing the ums and ahs. Which I don't even really use that feature as much as I used to. But when I first started using CapCut, that was one of the things that really sold me on it was like they make this part way easier than it used to be, just by removing the ums and ahs. Again, that was something that used to take, I don't know, several hours to comb through a video.
It used to be a whole task rather than just
exactly
a button.
Exactly.
Button.
And the cool captions and all those cool things. I think CapCut is a pretty underrated tool, even though it's rated very high right now. I still think it's pretty underrated because it does save me a ton of time. It's like when people talk a lot about so I mean, like ChatGPT is something that probably should belong on this list.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, what of those tools, like what do you use more? And AI is infused with the CapCut.
Yeah, AI is the number one. Yeah.
It's being used everywhere, but not necessarily for me, not through ChatGPT as much as those other tools, because ChatGPT, as cool as it is and as valuable as it is, it's made it so that like blogging is kind of not like value-driven content is still valuable, and you can use it as your assistant and copy editor and stuff like that. But just like pumping out blogs, that doesn't really do me. That doesn't do me that much time, because I still have to go through and I have to edit it and I have to like make sure it didn't hallucinate anything and whatever. But man, on those captions, I mean, like I said, we're talking about 2 days of listening and editing and moving the words around here and there. Same thing with the ums and ahs. It saves me a ton of time. Canva, Photoshop, you might have to. I feel like Photoshop and the Adobe suite, I spend 10 minutes waiting for it to load. I mean, like the load takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the most frustrating about it.
Yeah. And
I just don't have the patience for it.
You just never can just pop in and do something really quick.
Yeah.
And if you need to pop in and do something really quick, Canva is absolutely the best tool for it. And then I don't know, one that's probably worth mentioning is Claude. All you guys love Claude. I'm not a huge user of it, but maybe why. But I am pretty like mixed on those ones because of the writing ones, because of what I just said. Like I just at some point it's like I
use a mix of both. Like I love Claude, but like there's certain things that I know that if I go in there, it's not going to give me what I want it to.
And we the use case that you mentioned this morning, we were talking a little shop before our call about like using it to update website copy when we have someone, we have a lot of copy that's kind of redundant, so we need to like church up a few more sections. Yeah, I love all that, and that stuff does make a ton of sense. But the I don't know, value of that compared to those other two tools, CapCut and Canva, I think those are just, the value add is so incredible and really unparalleled with any of the kind of popular chat GPTs and those things. Do you have any other secret ones?
I was looking at my phone to see. I mean, like there's a couple random apps that I use. Like one that I like for a lot of like my Instagram or my lacrosse Instagram stuff is the app called Scroll. It's SCRL. It's the one where it's like the pic collage. That's all it is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's where you can put them like two photos on one page. Like where it like makes it loop them all together.
Yeah, I love that.
That's where I use that one for. If you've never been in the GoPro app, that one's really fun.
No, I never have. No, is that a good one?
But I don't know if you have to have a GoPro to do it. I don't think you do. I think you just their editor is really cool. I really like their editor.
Have you used the new another one? I have not found it to be very functional. So this is definitely not an essential digital marketing tool. But have you used the Playground? The new AI, it's the new Apple Intelligence.
No, I saw it on my phone, but I haven't used it. But one of the girls in my team did, and it's really funny.
It has a few things that I think are really cool and promising for the future, like when it gets better at it. Like one is like you can use the face, like I've set up all the faces in my photos.
That's what
So it knows my son and my daughter, and I love when it prepares like a video of me and my kids. You know, forget it. I lose my shit at that all the time. But so you can take, so I can say, yeah, exactly. Dad stuff always gets me. But I can say like, make Eric an astronaut, make Jasper, my son, I can make Jasper. And that's cool because it has so many pictures of my kids that it can take, you know, it's got a pretty good idea of what he looks like, and it can make a pretty good astronaut picture. But the rub is what it can't do yet is make me and Jasper. I don't know why, but it won't make like me and Jasper as astronauts. It will only do one person,
one at a time,
and it won't really even do us like full body. It just does head only. So maybe they just can't figure out hands yet. So they're just like,
that's probably what it is.
Yeah. That's what I think.
The hands down.
Yeah. But yeah, so that one's a cool tool that I would keep an eye on. Another, actually, that reminds me of another thing that I wanted to say for this segment was what I want to use so bad, but I cannot get to work very well is Siri. I have the worst experience. I got the new phone with the Apple Intelligence, and my Siri Chat GPT relationship sucks. Like, I don't know why it doesn't ever work.
Interesting.
It used to work better with my previous.
What if you reset it up? Like maybe it got a bad reading of your voice, so now it's not.
No, it's not. It's not my voice. Unfortunately, it's like it like gets the. I actually think it's the way the intelligence thing works with ChatGPT. There's something kind of like jacked up in that relationship because I'll say, like, just before, when I was on my way home, I said, "Take me home," which I used to say to Siri all the time, "Take me home," just to get directions. I was trying to see how long it would take. And I said, "Take me home." And then it just didn't work. And then I'll say, like, call, my son, and it won't, it'll call someone else. And I'm like,
oh, that's weird.
The fuck? So I don't know. That one is like one where I really want it to work because when I watched the videos about it and stuff, I thought, oh, this is going to be sick. And it was like right when the ChatGPT agents came out. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be unreal. And yeah, I've just had kind of like a mixed, really just poor, not really mixed. It's been all poor.
No pros.
With Apple Intelligence. Yeah, I've got zero.
Interesting.
I think Steve Jobs was the guy there. I don't know. That company is losing me. They
lost their touch.
Yeah, I don't know about you. Have you tried any Samsung phones or any of that kind of stuff? Because those are supposed to be cool. They're apparently they work pretty good.
No, I would never. Simply because of the interface. It has to. I can't.
Yeah, it's weird.
I was raised on it. It's ingrained in me.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I feel like that's probably enough dilly-dallying for the day. We can get to work after this. I got a busy day, so we did 38 minutes today. That's pretty good for a weekly podcast.
We're yapping today.
Indeed.
All right.
Yappers. Bye.